Finals review, first packet. The capacity of a small children's swimming pool is 106 gallons of water. There are currently 15 gallons in the water in the pool. You're filling the pool with water at a rate of 2 gallons per minute. How many minutes will the pool be full? You have 2 units of measurement. You need to make this box here. You have gallons and you have minutes. Problem's not written the greatest. So X is minutes, Y is gallons. X is your time. So it's gallons per minute. Why don't you go find that? It's right there for you. It says it's 2. Go cross out the 2. We already know what that represents. Now, it is 2 gallons, okay? It is the same label as the Y. Since it's actually 2 gallons, it is a linear equation, okay? In the form of B plus mx equals y. Now, your m is 2. Now, how many gallons did you have before the 2 gallons per minute? You didn't have a 106. Read the problem. There's 15, okay? Okay, so now I know what the 15 represents, and now I can write my equation. I have 15 plus 2x equals y. Now the amount I put into the equation is 106 gallons. Gee, should gallons go into X and Y? Well, given the fact that gallons is Y, I'm probably going to put it in for the variable Y. Okay, so get that Y out of there. You don't need to keep a parentheses around it because there's really nothing in front of the Y. And now I get the X by itself. Well, it's being multiplied by 15, or multiplied by 2, but first I have to minus 15. So 2 times X equals 91, and divide both sides by 2. And 91 divided by 2 is 45.5. That is your minutes. Next. A pool is being drained. After 5 minutes of draining, we have 775 gallons left in the pool. After 10 minutes, we have 700 gallons left in the pool. After how many minutes of draining will the pool be empty? Cross out 0 minutes. Empty means 0 gallons. That's wrong. 0 gallons. So my 2 units are minutes and gallons. X is the time unit. Gallons is the Y unit. So per gallons per minute. I do not have the gallons per minute, but there is a gallons per minute, okay? When you are trying to figure this out and you don't know it, but you know it exists, okay? We use the y minus y divided by x minus x, the slope formula for m. Now, get the right thing on top. Here's y, it's gallons. I see 775 and 700, so I'm going to be taking 775 minus 700. Now, the minutes that go with those, I see 5 minutes for the 775 and 10 minutes for the 700. So 775 minus 700 is 75, and 5 minus 10 is negative 5. Now I divide that, and I get a negative 15. Please keep the negative on the 15. That means the rate of change is negative because the gallons are going down every minute. When you drain a pool, it goes down. And again, that is negative 15 gallons. Okay? So again, that is a linear equation. B plus mx y. My m is negative 15. Now, I really don't know my B because I didn't even have the negative 15 gallons per minute in the problem. So I'm going to have to find the B for myself. Find the beginning. B stands for beginning. And B is also, by the way, B is a Y value. It's a gallons amount. And I need to use my Y equals M times X plus B. Please circle the B. You can even put a 1 in front of it so you don't do something stupid like divide. Okay? Now your M is negative 15. That should be obvious. For the Y and the X, we need to identify a combination from the problem. You need 1 minute's quantity and 1 gallon's quantity that appear in the same sentence. Well, 5 minutes and 775 gallons, I think, are in the same sentence. That's X, that's Y. So 775 takes the place of the Y and then times the negative 15 by 5. So here you got 775 sitting over here all by its lonesome. On the other side you have an operation to do. Negative 15 times 5. Negative 75. Plus 1b. Well, I need to move the negative 75 out of here by adding it. Add 75. And then 775 plus 75 is 850. 850 equals 1b, which means after I've added, 850 equals b. Okay. If you divide both sides by negative 75, there's no help for you. There really isn't at this point. Okay. I put the 1 there so you can see, gee, I probably shouldn't divide by that. I should probably add or subtract. Okay, so my equation is 850 plus negative 15x equals y. Now 0 gallons is the value we put into the equation. And it's gallons, so that is going in place of my y. 850 plus negative 15x equals 0. Now get the x by itself. Well, we know it as a multiplier of negative 15. So you better first deal with the number being added. So negative 15x equals negative 850, and then I divide both sides of the equation by negative 15. That is essentially my answer, 57. Okay, so it takes 57 minutes. Kind of an odd looking answer, but it's correct. Done this problem like 8 times on video. I'll do it again. Hair salon receives a shipment of 84 bottles of hair conditioner to use and sell to customers. 2 types of conditioner received are type A, type B. Type A, that's supposed to be a capital A, costs $6 per bottle. Type B costs $8 per bottle. The hair salon's invoice for the conditioner is $552. How many of each type of conditioner are in the shipment? You have 3 units this time. Type A, type B, and of course dollars is always a unit too. So that's 3 units, so we make our table. Okay, so I got A, B, and then together. How many per and total. Okay, my money total is $552. Type A, okay, bottles. How many bottles? You got 84, but that's them together, okay? So we label that X and that's Y. Now how much they cost? Well, type A is $6 per bottle. Type B is $8 per bottle. Okay, I don't need to put anything there. I already have 552 here. So that's 6x and 8y. Okay, now you have a system. Okay, your system is x plus y equals 84. And the other equation in the system is 6x plus 8y equals 552. Okay, now solve it. You multiply the top by 6, the bottom by 1. So you're going to have 6x plus 6y. And then I multiply 84 by 6. That is 504. Then in the bottom you got 6x plus 8y equals 552. Negative, out, negative, negative. So I add, you get negative 2y. Then I add those, you get negative 48. Divide by negative 2. And y is 24. So y is the type B bottles, 24 of those. Now, you can plug 24 in for the y, and 1 times 24 is 24, but I could probably just subtract 24, okay, from 84, and that'd be 60. Okay, next one. An adult pass to a fair costs $2 more than a children's pass. When 378 adult and 214 children's passes were sold, the total revenue is $2,384. Find the cost of an adult pass and the cost of a children's pass. Again, you have 3 units. So you got together. And then we have the adults and the children. We have how many there are, the amount per, and then money total. Again, we have our total cost. That's $2,384. I'm not putting any on the final where you don't know this. You know that's an equation down there. Do you need 1? Do you need 2? Well, we'll see. Okay, find me non-money amounts. Well, there's a couple of them. 378 adult. 214 children. You can add those together, and that's 592. Add them. Now, how about the cost? Now, the only thing I see is $2, but it says one's $2 more than the other. That means I put x plus 2 in for one of these, and then just x in the other. I don't use y. Read the problem. No, you don't know. You don't just put $2 anywhere and leave it. Okay, nobody paid $2. You don't know 2 things. You know one's 2 more than the other. So x plus 2 is the adults. X is the children. And I don't need anything here because I already know what this equals. So parenthesize this and distribute the 372. So that's 378x. And then 378 multiplied by 2 is 756. And that'd be 214x. Now write the equation. This is the only one you need. You don't have y. You don't have to worry about a y. It's all x's. So 378x plus, I've written it. The whole table is in terms of just one variable. Now here's the equal, Sparky. When the x's are on the same side of the equals, put your pencil down and just add them together. Do not do the minus minus. It's what you do. You minus them when they're on opposite. They're on the same side. So 592x plus 756 equals 2384. And then you can get the x by itself. So 592x equals... This is 1,628. Now you divide and you have your first solution. 1628 divided by 592, that's 2.75, $2.75. That's your x that's by itself, that's the children. There's x by itself, there's the children. Now to find the adults, it ain't hard. You don't have to plug anything in. Gee, if that's 2.75, that's 2.75 plus 2. That's $4.75. Okay, next problem. Hermson drop kicks a kid across the room from a height of 6 feet at a velocity of 40 feet per second. After how many seconds does he land on the ground? The ground means 0 feet. Now you're back to 2 units, so I need to see this. The relationship between 2 units is discovered by the process I'm doing now. So x is seconds, y is feet. So the feet per second is 40. But this is not a linear equation, okay? Because he comes up, but I hope he's going to come back down, okay? Well, here's what we do. First, we mark the point where he started, which is 6. And then the point he ended up at, 0 feet, okay? Now, with these kind of equations, we need the equation box to be pretty big because that's more work I have to do. So I got blank x squared plus blank x plus blank equals y. Negative 16 is gravity. That's what's pulling him back down. X is seconds, and feet per second is 40. Then we started at 6 feet. Now the 0 feet, now feet's a y value, so 0 goes in for the y. Which leaves us with our x. Now, x has 2 solutions because here it's to the second power. And we also have this x here that isn't to the second power, so we can't really get the x by itself. I think we need to do the GCFT because it's a trinomial. Remember, check for the negative, check for the x, do the GCF. Okay, the negative is here, okay. X is not used, though, because 6 doesn't have an x to divide from. 16, 40, and 6, you can use your GCF calculator. That is 2, okay. So negative 2 is out here. Now go divide all these by negative 2. That is positive 8x to the second. That is minus 20x and minus 3. Okay, 8 times negative 3 is negative 24, so that is a difference of 20 negative. 1 and 24 is 23. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Well, that's 10. Well, now it's too small to get to 20, and it ain't making its way back, so that's a fail. So you use your quadratic formula. Opposite of b, opposite of b. Write down, I've switched the way I've taught this. It's worked a lot better. Plus or minus the square root. B squared, put 2 parentheses at the beginning, please. B squared minus 4ac over 2a. So b is negative 20, but the opposite would be 20. Now, b without the opposite is negative 20. And then you got 4. Then a is 8. C is negative 3. And then a is 8. This is known as a quadratic formula. 2 times 8 is 16. Okay, get that. Now, punch that square root into your calculator. Second, x squared. 1 parentheses comes up. I add a second one or it won't work. Negative 20 to the second minus 4, 8, and negative 3. Okay, that gives me 22.27. Put that above your square root, and now you're in like Flynn. So I take 20 plus 22.27 equals, divided by 16, 2.64. And then 20 minus 22.27 divided by 16, negative 0.14. I probably want to put 2.64 there. That is how you solve an equation with a parabola. Now the next one's a parabola, but I'm finding something completely different. A go-kart track has about 380 racers per week and charges each racer $35 to race. The owner estimates that there's going to be 20 more racers each week for every $1 decrease in price per racer. How can the store maximize his weekly revenue? Forget all that crap after it. Maximum means I draw a big Bertha parabola, hopefully a little bit more centered than mine. And I have to find the xy coordinate. After I have these two values, I have my answer. The formula for the x is taking the opposite of b and dividing it by 2 times a. It's like the song, but I just don't have the square root. Because the entire song was all the way to the ground. Here it's only halfway up, so the square root is removed. And finding the y is simply just replacing x in the equation. Okay, y is what I'm going to write down there. But this has nothing to do with gravity. It has to do with revenue. When you make money, don't write this down. Just watch. Use common sense. I sell $3 hot dogs. Let's say I sell 20 of them. How do I find the money I make? Well, I probably take 3 times 20, which is 60. So finding your revenue is simply taking the money times the items. But it's a little more complicated than this up here. Revenue, we're going to put a y variable for that. I'll start with an r, but I put a y. Now, go circle your money amounts in the problem. Okay. $35 is your beginning amount. You do not put a variable behind that. And then last time I checked, simple math terminology, decrease means -1. Now, I don't know how many ones are minus from the price, so I put X to get to that max revenue. So it's that. Please read, please. Decrease, okay? Now, the items, okay? Cross those out. You start at 380. You don't put an X. I know it says per week, but you don't put X. You have 300. It's all within the same week time span. So we don't. And then last time I checked, more than means adding 20x. Okay. Now that's great, but I need to multiply this to get rid of my parentheses. Again, I can't. You put 2 pluses, that's dumb. I'm sorry, but it is. $1 decrease is not +1, it's -1. And more than is plus. Okay? Okay, now get rid of your parentheses, and then you'll have your x squared term, your x term, and your constant, and a and b. Now you simply do the FOIL method, okay? It's 1 and then 2. 35 times 380. 35 times positive 20x. That's done. Now, that 1 is negative. So you take negative 1x times 380 and negative 1x times 20x. Okay. 35 times 3. Actually, I don't even need the step 2. It's right down there. Okay. 35 times 380 is 13,300. 35 times 20x is 700x. Negative 1x times 380 is negative 380x. And negative 1x times 20x is negative 20x to the power of 2. Okay? Because it's x times x. Negative 20 is your A. To find your B, you can combine like terms with the 700 and the negative 380. That's 320. And then finally, we have our 13,300. Now I just plug them into this opposite of B, negative 3. You don't do the GCFT or the song or any of that garbage here, not to find the maximum. You just get a simple standard form quadratic equation. By the way, a quadratic equation means it has x to the second power as the highest exponent. Divided by 2. It's not 2 times 20. That's a negative, buddy. And that's negative 40. Then I divide, and that's 8. Now, that's how many dollars were subtracted. $1 were subtracted. Now, to find out how much money was made, I simply replace my x's with 8. So, negative 20 times 8 to the second power plus 320 times 8 plus 13,300, 14,580. You'll put that down there. That's the answer. Okay, last problem. The price of a football ticket is $75. It is increasing at about 2% rate each year. How much will the tickets cost 10 years from now? Okay. Actually, never mind that. Cross that out. I want to find something different. I want to know how many years it's going to take to reach a cost of $100. Okay. So put years down there instead of money. You need to find the years. So you have two units, dollars and years. X is years, Y is money. So per, dollars per year. Well, you run into a little different thing. It's a 2% increase. So it's a percent per year. Okay. So that means it's not a linear equation. It's an exponential function. So blank times blank to the power of x equals blank. You don't have to worry about the quarterly stuff. Okay. So basically, make a long story short, this is your percent. These are both money amounts. This is original, and this is new. Okay, let's get the percent done. Let's not overcomplicate this. Just take 100% plus 2%. It's 102%, so we insert 1.02 in the percent. It's a little more complicated that when it's quarterly. You got to divide 0.02 by 4 before you add it to the 100, but I'm not putting that on there. Okay, we originally have $75. I don't know how many years. Duh, that's the answer. And then we have $100. Okay, now you have to solve for an exponent, so circle split it, and you're going to use your log over log formula. 1.02 is the base. Now, please do not put 100, and also you're not minusing 75. That is a multiplication operation. The opposite of multiplication is dividing. 100 divided by 75 is 1.33. Okay, so I put that in, and that's my answer. Log over log can be used to solve any exponential function for the independent variable. Well, that wasn't good. So log 1.33 divided by log 1.02, 14.4 years.